Welcome to Future Focus. On this show, we provide insights, strategies, and resources to support neurodiverse individuals in planning for their future. I'm your host, Dr. Janae Duclos, and together we'll explore the unique challenges and opportunities that individuals with disabilities face in various stages of life. Future Focus is brought to you by C3 for Me. For more information to help you or a loved one in planning for the future, visit c3forme.com. Listen in to our recent interview with Hannah Kay, your favorite faith-based photographer. I really enjoyed getting to know Hannah as she shared with me her journey to becoming a successful business owner despite being born with spina bifida. The entire interview was loaded with nuggets of knowledge and key takeaways, but there are 3 things that I really want you to listen in for during this interview. The first is using a strength-based approach and focusing on what you are good at to help you in planning for your future. The second gem that Hannah dropped during her interview was goal setting and working towards overcoming challenges. Let's face it, challenges are inevitable. We will all face them, but it's all about your mindset and how you choose to deal with the challenges you encounter. The third takeaway that I got from Hannah's interview was her emphasis and highlight on remaining positive and prayerful throughout the transition planning process. She left us with a call to action to rely on faith and God because He's got us no matter what. Well, what are you waiting for? Click the link and tune in to hear the full interview. All right. Well, welcome to Self-Determination is My Superpower, actually the first series of this special education series. And so we are the interview series that answers your questions to help you successfully transition. Our guest today is Hannah Knight. She's the owner of Hannah Kay Photography. Hannah is our favorite faith-based photographer who also happens to be an incredibly talented senior photographer. She serves Morgan County and the surrounding areas. So if you're ever looking for someone to capture those milestone moments, Hannah is your girl. Welcome, Hannah. We are so happy to have you today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm going to hop right on into the actual first question, which is, what does a life of self-determination and success mean to you?
Self-determination is a beautiful concept. Self-determination and success means to me is having a belief inside of you that you can do anything you set your mind to. With the right mindset, attitude, and correct support system, you will be successful. Success looks different for everyone. Sometimes people base it on the income they receive in any given year, and there's nothing wrong with making like 6 figures a year either. Everyone's situation is different. For me specifically, though, being a successful photographer means doing everything I can, going out of my way to establish and develop a close, intimate, personal relationship with each client that enters my business. And once you are an HKP client, you are a part of the HKP family forever.
Awesome. I love that analogy. You spoke a little bit about how self-determination and what that vision of success looks like and may differ based on the individual, right? It should be person-centered and definitely is differentiated or different based on the individual's interests, their needs, and their strengths. So thank you for highlighting and emphasizing that. So I mentioned earlier that Hannah is a professional photographer. And so can you tell us a little bit about what led you to becoming a business owner? Number one, kudos to you. And in particular, pursuing a career in photography.
For sure. A camera was first placed in my hands when I was 4 or 5 years old, and I literally have a home video from my dad's side of the family Christmas years ago. So this is about 2004 and 2005, where I was literally had a point and shoot camera in my hand and I was taking pictures. So I literally had a camera in my hand when I was younger. Um, but I when I was in middle school, I was never on yearbook staff in middle school or high school. But when I was in middle school, the PE coach would ask me to stay after to shoot basketball games. Mind you, I had never had any type of photography experience. I didn't even own my own camera at that time. But I did accept the offer. You know, it was just volunteer, you know, for free. Um, and I used those pictures for the yearbook, or they did. And that's how I got in a little bit with photography. And so fast forward a few years later, when I was in my sophomore year of high school, I purchased my first camera, because my high school's athletic director, had asked me if I wanted to become the school's photographer for sports,
Wow.
and I was like, sure, why not? So, anyways, I ended up coming to as many sporting events as I can for free, volunteering, posting my pictures on Facebook for the parents and the players to see. And basically, my business grew from there. I am now specializing in seniors, families, and couples 8 years later, and I'm also a full time photographer as of May 2023.
Kudos to you. Amazing to hear how something that you're passionate about, you were able to align that to actually be able to make a, lucrative income. And so oftentimes we don't consider what that may look like for a neurodiverse individual or a person with a disability. Which leads me to my next question, Hannah. How has being neurodivergent influenced your particular approach when it comes to photography and the way in which you capture your images?
Honestly, being different, quote unquote, externally influenced me. It's not too much being different externally. Even though my situation is different, I more so see the bigger picture, no pun intended, of developing those intimate, personal, long-lasting relationships with all of my clients, no matter what kind of client they are. Are they a couple? Are they a senior? Are they a wedding photographer? But ultimately, that is my main goal with every single client during their entire experience with me, from the time that they book to the time that I deliver their gallery. A few challenges that I face right now is I do not drive yet, and that's a big yet. We are currently in the process of getting me able to drive with a handicap accessible van. Um, it's a long, expensive process, but in the end, I know it's going to be worth it. Um, One professional challenge, I guess you can say, is from my chair, I obviously can't get the higher and lower angles that I want to, but there's something on the camera called live view mode that allows me to look on the actual screen while holding my camera up and holding my camera down, so where I don't actually have to move my body, if that makes sense.
Well, I learned a new technique or a strategy today I'll check out. So you spoke a little bit about your some of the challenges that you've experienced as a photographer. But despite having spina bifida, I mean, that has not limited your capacity in any aspect, nor has it stopped your ability to be successful in what you do. Is there any advice that you can give to other individuals that may be aspiring to become a professional photographer or go into this particular profession?
I would tell them to not give up, to keep going, and be obedient. God helps us overcome these obstacles, which I believe makes us stronger. No matter what your specific diagnosis, disability, etc. is, if you feel that God is putting a ginormous dream on your heart, and that's probably scary to even think about pursuing, which is me right now, I'll tell you that. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. He did it for a much bigger reason and purpose than we can know at that very moment. When that dream and passion finally becomes a reality, It is then we will look back and see the bigger picture of why he called us to do this from the very beginning, and I promise that the journey is worth it.
Well spoken and well said, Hannah. So I know that faith is at the core and the premise of your business. It
Hmm.
is not something that you do, but something that is a part of you. And I just want to acknowledge and commend you for sharing and highlighting that with others.
Thank you very much.
Is there anything as far as future goals or aspirations that you have for yourself or you see? I know you spoke a little bit about um, not yet, right? You emphasize that you're not currently able to drive. However, that's something I believe that you're going to be working towards achieving in the near future. Are there any future goals or aspirations that you can share with others, or anything that you may, any projects that you may be working on behind the scenes?
Yes. So one goal I have is the driving. That's the main goal for me right now. Um, like I said, we are in the process of doing that right now, and I just want to be able to independently drive to and from sessions, not even just sessions, just hanging out with friends and doing whatever. Um, a lot goes into this process, including money, but in the end, I know it will be worth it. So, personally, my driving journey is very important to me right now. Professionally, I want to one day hold in-person mentorships and or have a content day for photographers, and I want to be able to expand my business and capture seniors who are not in my county.
I love that. It sounds like you have some lofty goals that are in motion and definitely attainable and achieving. I can't wait to hear more and see your progress, and we'll follow you, continue to follow you as you successfully transition.
Thank you so much.
Lastly, Hannah, is there anything else that you would like to share or discuss about your experience as a neurodiverse person in a photography industry?
I just wanted to say that I love serving people in any way that I can. And if you know of a photographer who is a beginner and wants that help to grow in their industry, I'm like I said, I'm 8 years into being a photographer, and I'm still learning and growing every single day. So I just want to be able to help photographers learn and grow in this industry. Um, Feel free to send them my way. How can you reach me? You can reach me on Facebook at Hannah K Photography or my personal name, Hannah Knight. Or you can send me an DM on Instagram at Hannah K underscore photography with three Y's.
Awesome. Well, this concludes our interview for today. Join us for new episodes all month on Self Determination is My Superpower. We aim to inspire, educate, and empower neurodiverse youth and young adults with disabilities. Join us next time for key insights and answers to your questions that can help you to successfully transition. Thanks, Hannah.
Thank you.